Hello folks, Bruce Arnold here alongside JC Stapleton. We're here at the Season 4 draft of Poop Pit. And JC, we're hoping this season will be as action-packed as Season 3 was, where we saw Fernando Alonso inch out against Alex Albon after a nearly flawless season from Alex. We were talking about this in the pre-show. You know, he had what I thought was a very flawless season, only for the pressure to get to him at the Red Bull Ring. It just really proves how strong of a driver Fernando really is. And JC, we saw Neri become the third new team to win the Constructors. It just proves any team has a shot at the Constructors, JC. What are your thoughts going into this draft?
Well, everybody, JC Stapleton here. That is not true, Bruce. I think it's pretty clear that Neri, led by Kimi Räikkönen, stacked the deck to get the Manufacturers' Championship. There's no two ways about it. Now, what we did have, and I didn't think that was exciting at all, what we did have was an epic battle for the individual title, and you're absolutely right. Despite stacking the deck and having two drivers in the hunt, Frank pulled it off. He beat the two Narragansett drivers. He somehow beat Alex, who had it in the bag. Epic choke job there. And then, of course, beat Dabro, who I have no idea why he wasn't a factor, but he wasn't. So great final race, great season overall.
Absolutely, but I think Dabro, like you said, he wasn't much of a player in the offseason, but he knows this new game, and he could be a big factor in the Drivers' Championship this season.
Yeah, this car, the regulations for Season 4 suit his driving style. And I think the problem he's going to have is that he is leaving Budweiser. He was just not happy with the situation over at Budweiser. He's decided to jump ship, head over to Guinness. Now, the relationship might be great there, but it still takes a while to build an F1 car, and they might not have all the skills he needs to truly be a title contender.
Absolutely, JC.
Well, moving on. Thanks, Bruce, for handing that off so smoothly. We are ready for the Season 4 live draft, and the captains are already set. We have Dave leading Sapporo. We have Bimmy back in Narragansett. Somehow, despite winning the Constructors' Championship, he got the second overall pick. The only reason why he couldn't steal the first was because Dave was so terrible last season that it would be too obvious to give it to anyone else.
Dave was terrible. I just want to jump in there. He was terrible in that Haas. It was just a sight to be seen. Such a strong driver for McLaren, but in that Haas, he was a grandma. JC.
If you saw the in-cockpit view from Monaco, it looked like he had muscle spasms going through the tunnel there. I don't know if it was a medical condition, an equipment condition, or the McLaren from Season 2 just hid all of his weaknesses, but he was terrible. Picking number 3, I believe, is Dabro. We'll check that later. Alex in the Heineken car is going to be 4, and then our champ, our defending two-time champion, Frank Alonso, Nestle Alpine, picking 5. So let's jump ahead here to see who the folks in the field are this season. A lot of familiar faces at the top here. Number 1, Claff. Claff was a title contender. Bruce, you have your finger on the pulse. Was he offered a team principal spot this offseason?
I don't know, JC. Possibly,
Okay.
maybe. Some of my sources say he signed on with Sapporo, actually. But it looks like Dave wanted a spot back. Sapporo took him with open arms. They kicked Claff to the curb. So it's not unusual to see Sapporo sticking with their strong driver from Season 2, their driver's champion from Season 2. So they saw they could have a driver's champion. They're going to take that opportunity 100 out of 100 times. Claff out of there.
Sapporo knows their stuff when it comes to public image and marketing, so we'll see how that plays out here in this draft. Number 2, and this is in Bill Fuxton's driver power rankings. Hey Bill, why don't you share why you have Brian, Dan, Dobro, and Jack in your top 5?
Hey Bruce, hey GC. This is Bill Fuxton's driver power rankings. Bill Fuxton's driver power rankings.
That's you, Bill.
Bill Fuxton here. Nice to have myself. My name's Bill Fuxton. These are my driver power rankings. And at number 2, like you said, it's Brian defending my own power rankings, Bill Fuxton's power rankings. Brian's he's a very consistent driver. He's a very fast driver compared to the field you see in front of you. Claff is also very fast, but he's now in VR. I still have him number 1. I love his moxie. I love the fact that he's putting his body on the line, wearing the VR. Probably going to get sick at some point during the season. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one. But Brian coming in number 2. Yes, like I said, good driver, fast driver, consistent driver, keeps it on the track, knows how to race, knows how to work his MFD, knows how to do the things that drivers should probably know how to do, but probably refuse to actually learn how to do them. Brian is one
Bill,
of those
you're
guys
lingering on Brian a bit too long.
He's
Bill,
my number 2.
Bill,
These are all the reasons.
2.
Dan, good. Dobro's friend, no clue. Jack, also good, but kind of a liability to actually show up. Mike, we all know he's a part-timer. He's got a job. He's only going to show up for probably 2 races, maybe 3. Laddick, wild card, no clue on that guy. One day looks like he's the fastest driver on the grid. The next day he's looking like hell. 8, Nate RC, not sure on him. To be honest, got a new computer. Looking good, looking quick. He looks quick at times, I would say. Aaron, should I slow down? I lingered too long on Brian. We got a show to run.
This is great, Bill. We'll get back to these power rankings. Right now, we're just kind of focused on the first round, the top 5. I think you went through here.
I got a little.
Mike, Laddick, and Nate. Bill, who do you think has a chance to hop up into the first round? Last year, Aaron surprised the world getting picked in the first round. Do you think there's a possibility here for someone to jump up?
Mike, I think Mike would be in the first round if he was actually gonna be able to make every race. But unfortunately, his situation has changed. He's no longer able to make all the races. So I think Mike should be up there, but because of that, he's not. As far as Laddick, Nate, Aaron, I think someone wants to take a flyer on Nate RC. Just got a new computer. Maybe that was a limitation. Doubt it. Dobro's friend, who knows if he should be up there or if he should be down at the bottom. No clue. But I think the top 5 is looking good. Laddick could,
thank you, Bill.
Laddick could sneak up there, but who knows?
Thank you, Bill.
I think Aaron would probably have the best chance. He's looked the fastest in preseason testing. We haven't seen Dobro's friend. Is he fast? Is he not? Like you said, and if someone's going to take a chance, it's going to be on Aaron. They've seen him in preseason testing.
Absolutely. And that's a good question. Do you weigh the knowns versus the potential, right? Aaron, is he a title contender? Maybe not yet. But, he's a known commodity. Do you take him in the first round over, someone like Gus, who, quite frankly, we thought he was good. He still might be good, but we haven't seen him race enough. There's potential there. Do you take him over someone who's a known quantity, as an example? Let's move forward here because we have Sapporo on the clock. This is led by Dave. Bruce, everyone's at his disposal right now. You know the type of driver he is. Who do you think suits him best?
I think he's not going to go wrong with Claff or Brian here, right? Those are the two top contenders. Claff in VR could probably drop down a few pegs, and he could go with Brian here. The Tina's Burritos, that yellow might go good with an orange Sapporo skin. So we'll have to see here. It's, is he gonna go with the known commodity in Brian? No big changes with Brian, no VR changes, and that yellow.
Well, here is the chance to find out. The pick is in, and the new lead driver for Sapporo is... It's Jack!
Jack!
In the Tums car!
In the Tums car. Good pick. Strong pick. I think he left some talent on the board, but he's got a known commodity in Jack as well. And that Tums might go good with the Sapporo Orange. We'll have to wait and see, JC.
Well, I said earlier Sapporo was looking at marketing. In Dave, they have the physical embodiment of the perfect male in the eyes of a male. Now they have probably the biggest ladies man in Formula Poop on their team. Great marketing opportunities.
Yeah, we've seen it work for Ferrari,
Bona fide cocksmith right there.
It's a great move. Great move.
I'm a little concerned, Bill Fuxton. Can you actually can you elaborate on your fourth bullet there, if you could?
Oh, we actually couldn't afford to put up any graphics on that one. We just have the talking points.
Oh shoot! All right.
That's okay. You can read off them though. They're just there to spark conversation. But if you want, we can go edit this and post, even though this is live. We'll somehow go back in time and get it in live. We'll be able to maybe somehow get Bonafide Cocksmith flashing on the screen when you say it.
No, I'm looking at your scouting report, Bill. Strong midfield driver, Bonafide Cocksmith, and then had a run-in with a Thai ladyboy. What's the explanation here?
I don't know.
All right, we'll move on.
I think he said he was assaulted by a Thai ladyboy. I believe that's what he said.
Okay, moving on. Moving on to number 2 here.
We'll edit that out.
So next up is Narragansett Racing, and shocking here, Bruce, that they didn't go with Claff number 1, Sapporo, but now Narragansett has a chance to get their man back.
Yeah, and it's worked last season. Billy and Claff took Narragansett to a Constructors' Championship. So it just makes sense to pick Claff here. They're reuniting the Season 3 Narragansett team. It's a no-brainer here. It's got to be Claff.
Nope. This is the easiest pick in the history of Narragansett Racing. The pick is in. Let's see who they go with. And it is Cool.
Oh.
It's Brian.
It's Brian.
It's Brian.
It's Brian. He's fast and consistent. He runs the server. He's prone to spacing out. It's a perfect spot here for Narragansett Racing.
Hold on, Bruce. Let me talk with my producer. This isn't a mix-up. Narragansett. You know what? This is real, and I think you're absolutely right. Brian runs the server. Narragansett needs access to all of that power.
That's so true, JC. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's it.
What a scumbag pick here. You have... And here's the thing. Claff was equal to, if not better at times than Billy. He doesn't want any competition at the top. He wants access to this. This is... What a disaster.
Yeah, I also heard Narragansett offered Claff, the team principal job, and he turned it down because he respected Billy so much. And Billy does this to him.
How low can one man go? That's the real question. All right, who's the next?
I'm getting word from the top. We gotta move on.
Yeah, who's the next? It's Starbro. It's Guinness. I mean, he would be a fool not to pick Claff here. So I think that's the obvious.
He could go Dabro's friend.
Why would you go? Why
would
you go with Dabro's friend?
He's with Dabro's friend. It's gotta be Dabro's friend.
Dabro's friend. When you have Claff on the board, a certified
it doesn't matter.
contender.
It doesn't matter. You gotta go your friend here.
There's the noise. The pick's in. Let's see if it's Dabro's friend.
Dabro's friend. I knew it. No brainer for Dabro. He's, could be a ringer, or most likely be a scumbag like Dabro. I mean, it's no brainer for him.
Put up the next graphic. Alex is on the clock. So now we know that Alex is on the clock here. Who could he possibly pick other than Claff? Because apparently Claff is completely toxic right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gotta be Claff, right? It's gotta be Claff.
I'm gonna go with Pat. I think Pat's the pick here. Pat was an Alex teammate in the past, I believe, and it's not fucking Claff because no one's picking Claff.
I don't know. I think, Heineken got a taste of a run at a Constructors Championship last year. They came short. They came up short to Narragansett. This is Alex's chance to pick Claff here, get a strong team, and go after Narragansett.
All right. Well, the pick is in, and the pick is Claff. Claff has finally been selected here.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick. It's he's not gonna win a drivers' championship, but he's gonna help you with your constructors' championship, and it's a good situation for Heineken.
It's a wonderful situation for Heineken. Alex was within a hair's breadth of the title, and now he's got probably the best support in the league. This team could win the constructors without a doubt.
It'll be a fun challenge. We'll see.
All right, next up on the clock is our two-time defending champion, Frank Alonso. He has 2 picks. He's got the sandwich pick. Last year, Sapporo had this pick, went with Hladek and Mike. That proved to be disastrous for that team. So Frank, I think this is actually an interesting pick here for Frank. Last year, he had Dan Swallow and Aaron, but Dan Swallow in particular, Frank basically sabotaged his young rookie all season because some are saying Swallow's better than Frank.
Yeah, and we saw it at times. He looks fast. I think it's a no-brainer pick here for Nestle Alpine F1 team to go with Dan Swallow. He's a good building block for the next pick.
It makes sense for the team. Does it make sense for Frank? Is he still going to feel threatened? I mean, after you win a title, are you still threatened?
There's no chance. Frank's a 2-time champ. Dan Swallow's not gonna make him shiver in his boots.
All right, well, the pick is in here. Round 1, pick 5. It is Dan Swallow. Swallow's back. Valentina salsa mixed with the delicious Nestle's chocolate will make a wonderful post-race meal.
It's gonna look good with Nestle, JC. That's for sure.
Nestle's on the clock again. Their second pick is in. I would imagine this is Aaron here, but Bill, why don't you take us through the power rankings again? Give us a quick breakdown of who could potentially be the pick here.
All right, thanks, JC. Looking at the second round, we got Claff off the board, Brian's off the board, Dabro's friend is off the board, Dan Swallow is off the board, and Jack, of course, Jack, first overall pick, Jack is off the board. So right now we're looking at the next 5 for the second round, and I think honestly, you look at the history of Nestle, went with Dan Swallow. What a great pickup for them last season. But Aaron, disappointed as their first round pick. I think they move elsewhere. I think they go for someone a little bit more refined, someone who knows the game a little, or knows the tracks a little better. I think you could go You could see a Hladik or a Nate RC, maybe even a Pat.
It sounds like Bill is interested in Pat there. Bruce, last season you really were not a fan of Pat. Has your opinion changed after season 3?
Absolutely not, JC. Pat stinks. Okay.
All right. All right, just wanted to make sure that was clear. Well, the pick is in for round 2. Nestle is going to go with Aaron. Aaron is back. Nestle is...
I'm sorry, JC. One of the worst sponsors in the league right here. What a terrible sponsor Pioneer is. I just had to get that off my chest, JC.
What exactly is Pioneer, Bruce? You seem to know.
It's... I don't even know, JC. Pioneer. Like, what is that?
You really don't know?
Oh, we're gonna have to edit this and post again. I know it's live, but we're gonna have to edit this. Where Pioneer supplies all of our audio equipment, and we're gonna have to cut all this. So please move on.
Equipment.
We have to move on.
Round 2, pick 2. Right now we have Alex on the clock.
What a pick, though, Aaron. Great at rubbing.
Great. Nestle's back in business. Alex here. First round got Claff. You know, I don't know who he goes with here. I think there's a lot of folks on the board that don't necessarily mesh with Alex. Alex can be kind of a jerk on the track to his teammates.
Well, yeah, JC. I mean, we've got a couple good picks here. You know, Hladik's going to be there every night. He knows the tracks. We also have the reemergence of Nate RC. We've seen flashes in, I believe it was season 2 of greatness at some points.
He was in first place.
I believe he was in first place at Jeddah at one point. These are the things that you got to look for. It's, you know, maybe it's not reliability, but maybe when you're going for, you know, constructors, you take a pick at Nate and see if his new hardware is going to help him here.
Yeah, even if he isn't a top 10 driver in the standings at the end of the season, he should be. But at least he's a consistent midfielder if you're going for that constructor title. He's a good option. All right, well, the pick is in. Let's see who is the newest member of Scuderia Heineken. It is Nate RC. Good call, Bruce. Great call.
Oh, what an awful... Ugh. All right.
Wait, is that the sponsor? Bill, is that the sponsor?
What are we
Yeah,
doing
you know, like I said, we're in a really bad economic hole, and we'll take literally anything we can get. And yeah, you know, we need the money, so we'll allow it. But I don't like it.
Well, you know, I had heard rumors that Nate RC had some incredible new equipment ready to debut season 4. I just thought it was going to be racing equipment and not this type of equipment.
Yeah, well, sometimes I guess you need this type of equipment, JC.
No, well, moving on. The next pick here is back to Guinness Audi. Dobro has a lot to prove this season. Can he build a team? His first pick, big unknown. Let's see if he goes with consistency over potential here. At pick 3, the pick is in. It's Pat. Pat goes number 8 overall.
Ugh.
Really impressive performance last season to get him into this position. I hear a lot of groaning over there, Bruce.
What an awful pick, JC. Why would you pick Pat here with Hladik, Mike even on the board, possibly only racing 2 races? Why would you pick Pat over that? Pat is the worst, JC. I don't see any way in this draft where picking Pat makes sense.
Well, he's got a great sponsor. Popeye's a well-known brand, big franchise, a lot of money coming in to Guinness Audi. Pat's consistent. He shows up to races. There's a lot of positives here.
Pat.
Moving on to pick 4 in round 2 here. Now it's Narragansett on the board. He went with
Brian.
first overall. I think the question here is not so much about talent, it's who has some type of power or influence that Billy can take advantage of to get his first driver's championship.
Absolutely, JC, and I gotta think he goes with Nate here.
Yeah.
Nate was a member of that Constructors Championship. He's got a fantastic sponsor in the Chicago Beans. It seems like a no-brainer pick here for that reuniting of Nate and Billy.
Well, if Billy's goal is to cheat his way to a championship this season, season 4, the best thing he can do is have someone in the back of the field knocking out the big guys. And Nate's always been
Absolutely,
great at
JC.
that.
He's a great Narragansett racer.
Well, the pick is in. Let's see who Billy has gone with here for Narragansett. You are right again, right on the nose. It's Nate. The Chicago Beans are now in Providence, Rhode Island.
Absolutely, JC. He, like you said, is the league's top enforcer. He's going to be battling in the back for Billy. It's a great pick. It's a great pick.
Well, you have been incredibly consistent here. You've nailed a lot of these picks here, Bruce. Now we've got Sapporo up. They have the sandwich pick. Who do you got going here?
Oh, well, Hladek, was he not a part of that Season 2 Constructors Championship, right, with Sapporo?
He was, but Hladek is also the only person, I think, in league history to lose points in a non-racing incident.
Well, stats are stats, JC. That's just a good one.
So the pick is in round 2, pick 5, Sapporo. It's Mike.
Yeah, he's got a very clean asshole, JC.
I cannot vouch for that. What I do know is that Mike had a fantastic season. At times, he looked better than Dave, especially earlier in the season. Unfortunately, a part-time driver, but you're getting top 10 points every week he does show up.
Yeah, that's right, JC. And as a part-time driver, I also heard he's having some issues setting up his garage. So we'll see how that shakes up. But having trouble and not really enjoying the new regulations.
Well, he needs to move his setup to the bathroom so that he can bring some joy to his life, and I know his sponsor is going to provide that. Now, Sapporo has a second pick here. You mentioned Hladek. He's been with McLaren the last 2 years, but there's some other interesting people still on the board here. Do you think he moves away?
I don't know, JC. I don't see it. I just don't see it.
Well, that's fine.
I think he goes with Hladek here.
All right, let's find out. The pick is in. And you're right, it's Hladek McLaren. Sapporo McLaren is... They just have added Jack, who's a first-round caliber driver. This team, it didn't do great last season, but they were still in the hunt for a little while.
Absolutely, and I think the team that they built here is going to be a consistent contender this year. I think they have a shot at the Constructors. It's not, top tier talent everywhere on the board, but very consistent, and they'll be in all the races. I think it's a great team that they've built here.
So we're on to pick 2 in round 3. This year we have 20 full drivers, so every team will have 4 drivers in the paddock. So Narragansett gets to choose from a few really talented folks. We have Steve, Gus, Al, and Ethan all still available. Who of those 4 drivers, Bruce, who's interesting to you?
I don't know, JC. I just...
None of them are interesting to you. All right, well, let's see if anyone's interesting to Narragansett, Billy's on the clock here. The pick is in, and it's Al. Al has been selected.
Absolutely, JC. You know, I was on the fence of bringing up Al because we don't know if he's a part-time driver or not. He's got Building 19 for a sponsor.
They're in business.
They are a bankrupt sponsor,
JC,
but Narragansett, they're not looking for the money, right? They're looking for the merit. And Building 19 was a great store before it went bankrupt. And Narragansett sees the potential there. But
this team is entirely built around delivering Bimmy a driver's championship. There's no two ways about it. To have not just one enforcer in Nate, but two enforcers in Al, plus the person with the keys to the server, there's no question.
Absolutely, JC. We got Nate and Al, the Bash brothers in the back. Well, it's just a terrible. They need to lose this year, JC.
The team's going to lose for sure. The question is Billy going to win a title? I mean, he's my odds-on favorite now. There's no two ways about it. He's got the team around him. All right, moving on. Pick 3. Important picks here because Dobro, a bit of an unknown in round 1, a decent driver in round 2. Round 3 is going to determine whether or not this team can compete for constructors. The pick is in. Let's see who we got. It's Gus, and Trojan. This, I mentioned his name earlier. Gus always intrigues me as someone who could break out.
Yeah, we've seen it for 3 seasons straight now, JC. We're waiting for this breakout, and it just never happens,
Well, I'm actually now a bit concerned because Trojan is known for not allowing things to break out. Could this be the thing that keeps Gus from excelling?
Is he going to show up, JC? That's the question.
I think he's going to show up. I just don't think he's going to have the same feel for it.
It's a question to be seen. We gotta wait and see.
All right. Well, 2 more picks left. We have Alex here.
You can't say anything about Gus. He just doesn't show up.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. Alex here. He has Ethan, who, at times is a very good driver. I'm shocked that he's fallen this far. And then Steve, who, based on my understanding, is very comfortable with these new regulations. Good potential here. The pick is in for Alex, and they're gonna go with Steve. Steve, the number 99 car. What do you think of this pick, Bruce?
Yeah, we've seen Steve show up to preseason testing, but he hates the open wheel racing, JC. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He'd rather be racing another car.
Well, that's a shame. So that means the last pick, surprisingly, is going to be Ethan. He's going to Nestle. And, I'm thinking Nestle is a pretty good team here.
Yeah, I mean, if Ethan shows up, that's a great pick. It's a great pick for Nestle.
So
that really rounds out the team.
So here's the breakdown. Sapporo goes with Jack, Mike, and Halatic. A lot of familiar faces there. Nestle,
Dan Swolo,
Aaron, and now Ethan. A lot of continuity there. Then you got some mix-ups. Narragansett is going to go with Brian, Nate, and Al. Guinness has Dobro's friend, who we still don't know the name of, Pat and Gus, and then Heineken, Claff, Nate, and Steve. I think that's a contending team as well.
Yeah, as well as Nestle. Did you say Nestle?
Well, I started with Nestle.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, I said them early. All right, well, that's it. Thank you all for joining us. We're looking forward to Season 4 for Bruce Arnold, Bill Fuxton, and myself, I'm JC Stapleton. Have a great season 4.
I didn't. You know what? I actually didn't hit record, guys. We're gonna have to do that whole thing over. We have to do that whole thing over, guys. I'm JC, Bruce. I'm so sorry.
You got it.